This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Freaking.com.
Toward this slightly wild east, America's most deliberate migration project since the Homestead Act enters its 6th year. 500 overactive refugees from the authoritarian states of Republicrat America link arms with New Hampshire's native liberty community and cobble a loose but increasingly potent defense against the seemingly unstoppable march of authority. With a calculated desperation not seen since the days of Parks and King,
what is this man being arrested for?
Some clumsily follow the path of the same. To the unjust, they say, ignore us and admit the wrongness of your victimless crime edicts, or seize us and amplify our message. There are, it is believed, several lines of defense which must be held in this manner against the encroaching cancer. Perhaps the most valuable of these is the newly decentralized exercise of press freedom. The practice of camcording official activity and placing it upon the waves of the electronic web for all to support or decry. That practice has fallen into the desperate hands of the little people.
Listen here, sport, you want a videotape? I'll take your camera.
As a check against government abuse, it is indispensable. It is, in this land of so many hills, a good one upon which to die. Across New Hampshire, the freedom to record exists, but only in a tenuous, ambiguous form.
So I'd like to shut that off right now.
An elderly wiretapping law is often cited by officials wishing to frighten from their presence the troubling light of independent recording.
All rise. National District Court is now in session.
In courtrooms, judges are encouraged by law to permit independent taping, but they are granted a hazardous leeway to limit the same.
You can turn this into something more than it has to be if you want to.
Some choose to expand their mandate and exert censorship over the lobbies outside their force-funded chambers. Others permit relatively unfettered access, ban cameras altogether, or moodily swing from one extreme to the next. In the twilight of 2008, videographer Tom Caruso gently presses Keene District Court for leave to film the controversial trial of a victimless defendant. The defendant approves, but Caruso's lens captures the judge in a fit of anger.
Have a seat. Have a seat!
The New York documentarian has driven 4 hours to record this proceeding, but 4 minutes into it, the flustered jurist's enforcers compel him to stop.
All cameras off, please, gentlemen.
Meanwhile, the defendant is hustled away and tried in relative secrecy. In protest, I report to the court with a promised course of action. I pledge that come the next such proceeding, weeks hence, I will follow Caruso's path and endeavor to film. But I will peaceably disobey any unjust order to turn my camera off. In the event, upon arrival, press recording is forbidden completely, both in the court and in the lobby outside. Lawful or not, the unsigned order has the weight of a small-town army behind it. I am seized in the lobby, camera in hand, perhaps the first journalist to video broadcast his own arrest live. Much of what ensues is well known to our liberty community. The 5 arrests surrounding my arraignment, the more heroic and robust stand of videographer Sam Dodson, the eventual readmission of our cameras to Keene District Court. But it is our purpose which gives meaning to these deeds, the purpose of accountability, holding our officials before the cleansing glare of a camcorder's sunlight, and saying to all who would interfere, on the job means on the record. The purpose of liberty, the right of each soul to do all she pleases, that harms or threatens none against their will. And as unprecedented government growth brushes a nation toward the cliff of collapse, the purpose of ensuring it may never be said we did nothing. Decades after the largely peaceable struggles which brought partial liberation to the bonded peoples of India and the American South, children still asked, "What did you do in the struggle, Grandpa?" From this concrete box it is appropriate only to ask, please do what you are able, while there is still time, to ensure that when you stand before this question, you may proudly provide a convincing answer.
We shall overcome someday.
What are you arresting this man for?
You've seen the dramatic liberty arrests in Keene, New Hampshire. Now see 111 reasons why you should move there and reinforce these gutsy activists. Keene's advantages are compelling, and the list of reasons to move has just been updated. For details, visit freekeene.com.